let's talk about my age. We all know how old I am. We all know I'm 36 and a half. We all know I'm 3.5 years away from being 40. We all know I'm 6 months away from officially being in my late 30s. Now, I have always been proud of my age. I've always been proud of the fact I'm at the top of the beginning of the millennial generation. I was born in 1981. I'm very proud of those things. I'm never going to be ashamed of my age, no matter how old I am. I embrace that. I like being whatever age I am. In fact, I'm very happy to be 36 and a half compared to, say, 20. That was the worst. Well, no, the worst was probably like 6th grade, but 20 was pretty bad too. It gets bad because you don't really know anything yet. You don't have the confidence yet. You don't have the life skills yet. Granted, you're a lot younger, but I'm even healthier now as a 36-year-old than I was when I was 20. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about in this, as I embrace my age, is I just want to acknowledge the way that a person can still be handsome as they age. As they lose their hair, you can still be handsome. You know me, I'm a vegan. I'm all about eating right. I'm all about preventing onset diabetes, right? I think it can go a long way to get older and still stay in good shape and not be overweight. As a man, I think that really says a lot about masculinity for someone who is fit as they get older, because then you become more of the exception to the rule. Now, something specifically that I wanted to talk about in this video is the fact that there's this maturing look that we get even if you don't go bald. But as your hairline changes, as you go through Norwood 1, which means your temples are starting to go back, and Norwood 2, which means your hairline is starting to go up, and even for me, if you're Norwood 3, where you've got more of just a peninsula right there, and then it depends on your length up here to kind of smooth that out to give that more of a straight across appearance. But I've never made a video just kind of talking about the fact that as these changes happen in the Norwood 1, and as they happen up here, what happens is your forehead gets more prominent. Not necessarily up here. That's not what I want to talk about on this video. I want to talk about this. I want to talk more about the temples and up here. What's happening is when you've got, because I looked at myself when I was like 10 years old in a picture, and I had this hairline that was just circled in, you know. But what happens, even from me when I was turning 18 and 19, this was happening. So it makes like I said, it makes your forehead look bigger. Now, I've said more than once, everything I've studied on the subject says that a prominent forehead is an attractive feature, not only in males, but also in females. There's something about that. So a tall forehead is not something to be ashamed of. It's actually seen as attractive because it's more in proportions with the face of a baby. Everyone universally loves babies. Babies are cute. They're adorable. Turns out it's the same thing with our perception of people. When our eyes are in the middle of our head, that is seen as most attractive. So to show some forehead, not a bad thing. It's attractive as it replicates that perfect ratio of what a baby's face looks like. So I'm all about embracing a tall forehead. Not only am I a balding advocate, but I'm also a tall forehead advocate. I think that's a very attractive trait. Not that having a low forehead is not, but I think especially as a male, we're expected to have some maturing going on here. Now, granted, I'm past the point of just maturing when it comes to my hairline. I've actually entered the balding stage, having crossed the Norwood 3. But either way, though, it's still this concept that as our hairline matures, including our temples, it gives us a more mature look. You know, there's comedians I've seen on Netflix where they'll make fun of the fact that they're in their 30s and they still look like they're 12, and that's their whole shtick. I'm actually grateful that's not me. I don't want to have this baby face or a juvenile hairline to where I look like I'm not growing up. I think it's very important for me psychologically that as I age and as I mature, and as I get closer to 40, that I look like that, but I still look good for my age. And I think there's a good balance. See, I think a lot of people take things way too far. They're so obsessed with the appearance of youth and wanting to stay looking like they're 25 even when they're 40. Not for me. I'm okay with actually looking my age. That's totally cool with me. I just want to look really good for my age. There's a difference between looking your age and looking good for your age. And I think the older we get, the harder it is to look good for your age. But again, I'm a vegan, I eat right, I take care of myself, and I'm also very aware of what hairstyles are going to work with my hair loss. And that's not a matter of necessarily covering up or hiding it, but working with it. I'm not ashamed of my forehead. I'm not in denial about this. But at the same time, I don't have to go all the way the other way and just shave it off just because there is a change there. I'm such a balding advocate. I'm such an aging advocate, and I'm such a health advocate. I think all of those things are important. So hopefully you'll continue to see that in the philosophies that I teach about my unprofessional perspective on hair loss. But I just wanted to make a video really addressing the fact that I'm so not ashamed of my age. I embrace my age. You're going to get older too. And it's a matter of, like I said, can you be the one that looks good for your age? Forget about looking younger than that's denial. Victim mentality is being in denial about aging and getting older and looking older. That's victim mentality. I'm not a victim. My name is Nicholas. That's Greek for victorious. Okay? Victorious people work with what they've got. They manage it. And I'm going to be victorious by looking good for my age despite aging. Because most people aren't going to make an effort to embrace that naturally. I'm Nick Shell, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But you're watching the video, so what does that say about you?